doesn't work. If there is no gap funding, then the hospital does not stay open during the time of transition. So that means there is no new buyer, because without the gap funding, the hospital will not stay open. So then there's no need for seismic, because the hospital will be closed. So in my mind, that makes the decision fairly clear. We're either going to do the gap funding or we're not. Seismic being put is the cart before the horse. I'm encouraged to some extent to hear that some people say that they're going to have no contingencies and pay for this. I would like to see the $15 million or $20 million, which is required for the gap funding, to be put in escrow up front, so it's there to pay for it and not something that is negotiated down the line. Supervisor Pine very astutely indicated that on the federal level, the state level, our healthcare system is in trouble. And perhaps the fact that Seton Hospital now has brought this to the forefront is an opportunity, if we can keep the hospital open and moving forward, to look at this as an opportunity to deal with this issue in our county. This would be the prime opportunity, because it's in the forefront, to get all of the stakeholders together, cities, corporate entities, all the other hospitals, to see if we can go forward with some kind of a hospital district or something that would come up with a funding source long-term that can help us revive and revise the system of funding for healthcare in our county. So that would be the long-term suggestion that I would have. Short-term, we need the gap funding.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. President, 22 more speakers. Next is Kevin Oko, followed by Zinni Cortez, and then Haley Crum.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Oko. I'm a registered nurse of Seton Medical Center, Geriatric Behavioral Health Unit, and a member of the CNA. I'd like to start by sharing two personal memories of Seton. In 2009, my oldest daughter was born there, one of the happiest days of my life. And I've also brought with me today one of my best friends. Dad, can you wave? In February of 2017, we found my dad unable to move his left arm, his left leg, facial drooping, and unable to speak. He was suffering from a stroke. We called 911 and he was rushed to the nearest hospital, Seton Medical Center. As code stroke was announced on the intercom, my mother and I couldn't help but panic, but after 7 days of inpatient treatment, he was discharged on his own 2 feet. He's able to stand here before you guys and wave, and he'll be able to see his grandchildren grow old. Because of the same professionals that are here today, those healthcare professionals I now call my colleagues. It's been a blessing to not only work in my dream profession as a registered nurse, but my dream hospital. Some of the nurses and doctors that cared for my dad still work there today, but they probably don't remember, because those heroes do that every day. They save lives. My hope today is that when you take the few moments to vote on a proposed motion to save the hospital, you take the time to think of the lives you will impact, and at the end of this session, you'll be able to look at yourselves in the mirror and say, I was elected for this reason, to make a difference. Honorable Supervisors Slocum, Pine, Groom, and Horsley, will you be the reason lives are not saved? Or will you join Supervisor David Canepa and choose to be immortalized as in the storied history of Seton Medical Center as elected officials who chose to save the hospital and allowed us to continue its legacy? Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Zinni Cortez. Okay, I'll come back later. Haley Crum, followed by Father Leonard Oakes, then Mike Schumacher.